As UFC 281 inches closer, the highly anticipated grudge match between the champ, Israel Adesanya, and his kickboxing rival, Alex Pereira, becomes a reality. The fight has the MMA world split, as it's tough not to respect what Adesanya has done in MMA, but you can't ignore Pereira's knockout win in kickboxing either. So let's take a look at what experts are saying and who they are backing to hold the UFC gold after all is said and done. A recent criticism that the champ has faced is that his fights are, well, they're boring. And it's hard to argue against this, as Adesanya's last few performances have been lackluster. However, UFC President Dana White believes that we don't have to worry about a boring performance in this next one. Just take a listen to what the boss had to say.
Yeah, it's interesting. It won't happen in the next fight. When you're sitting here in my position, you can't give too many guarantees. You know, I could say stylistically on paper, this should be, we feel this is going to be, I guarantee you. I absolutely positively guarantee you that the next fight that Israel Adesanya fights will be absolutely batshit nuts.
Now, of course, what Dana White has to say must be taken with a grain of salt, as he is, well, the promoter after all. And speaking of promoters, there are few who can hype up a fight better than Joe Rogan, and he seems to be all in on this upcoming title fight. Just check out what Rogan had to say.
What a lot of people think he might do to Izzy again, does that do anything to Izzy's legacy?
No, Izzy's a human being. You can't take away from what he's done, and because what he's done is spectacular.
Yes.
I mean, look at what he did to Paulo Costa. Paulo Costa was running through everybody, walked down Yoel Romero.
Yep.
And Izzy just lit him on fire. Just lit him on fire. He never even had a chance in that fight. He was just getting outclassed. I think the Izzy of today is very different than the Izzy that fought Pereira twice. Both fighters. He's different now. He's better. He's way better. And the thing about that fight that's so intriguing is that Izzy has 5-round experience, he's got championship level experience, he's got big moment experience, he's got all these things, but Pereira's got that power. He's got that preposterous, and everybody gets hit. If you're in a striking exchange, yeah, wild. That left hook is ridiculous, man.
Another person that shares similar sentiments to Dana White is Michael Bisping. Like Dana, Bisping believes that Izzy will have no choice but to put on an exciting fight, as Pereira will move forward and won't be afraid of Izzy striking. This is what the former middleweight champ had to say.
But coming into this one, Israel's going to fight. Israel is going to fight because Pereira, I don't believe, will be scared of him. He's going to go forward. See, because he went out there and he beat Izzy in kickboxing twice, so therefore that reinforces his mind that he is the better striker, that he is the better fighter. And now he's going to think, listen, with the 4-ounce gloves on, I'm going to have an even greater chance of knocking out Israel Adesanya. And the way he did that in the kickboxing fight, as I said, he went forward, he was aggressive, and we've seen that with Pereira. He goes forward. Last time out against Sean Strickland, beautiful left hook pretty early in round 1, knocked him out cold. Before that went to...
But Bisping also thinks that Izzy might have a few tricks up his sleeve.
Let's not forget, this is essentially 2 kickboxers in an MMA fight, but with all the years that Israel has been doing MMA, don't be surprised if Israel might trick him with a little takedown of his own, because surprise is, the element of surprise is such a powerful tool. Israel Adesanya might go out there, if they're clinched up against the fence, if they're engaging in a tie clinch or something like that, he might just level change, scoop up the legs, take him down, just to prove a point, just to say, look, I have evolved. I am not only a kickboxer, and I certainly don't think Pereira would
Now, sticking with former middleweight champs, Robert Whittaker also gave his 2 cents on the upcoming title fight. Of course, Whittaker will be an interested party, as he is likely not to get a title shot if Izzy wins, but could sneak into the title picture if Pereira becomes the new champ. However, for now, this is what Whittaker had to say.
Do you see Izzy holding on to the title against Alex?
He's very good, His style of fighting, he's a very good defensive striker, and he has the physical attributes to do it, as well as the talent in the craft, like the eyes, the head for it. He's just good at what he does. He can avoid danger like nobody's business, and that makes him hard to dethrone, especially if you go to the points. He's just very hard to dethrone. I think Pereira it's going to be interesting because they've fought before, and the small gloves adds an element of that was different in their kickboxing fights, as well as Pereira's huge. He's got the range and the reach, and he's very offensive with it, so we're going to see that. But in saying that, they're wearing small gloves. Izzy hit him in the kickboxing fights. Small gloves change things. You see it every night. The small gloves changes fights.
So it sounds like Whitaker might be backing the man who dethroned him. However, Triple C Henry Cejudo believes we might have a new middleweight champ after UFC 281. This is what Cejudo had to say.
If it comes down to striking, I am going to go with Alexander Pereira, just for the simple fact that he's beaten up twice before. This guy has more diverse with the kicks, with the jumping knees. As we saw, these are things that Israel doesn't necessarily do. Israel's the type of an opponent that will chip you away, that will hurt you, and that will end up finishing you in the later rounds. For Pereira, you just don't know what you get. You know, we saw before the jumping knees, the kicks, the left hooks, the right hands. I think he's just a little more diverse. So for that reason, I'm going to Alexander Pereira.
And another fighter who is putting their chips on Alex Pereira is Big Mouth Kevin Holland. Holland can't look past Pereira's 2 wins over Izzy in the kickboxing realm and believes the third fight will go the same way. This is what Big Mouth had to say.
But do you think if they fight in the UFC that Alex gets the best of him there?
I mean, I hear what he's saying about, like, you know, third time is going to be different and stuff like that. I mean, it sounds good, but I don't think that'll be the case this time. This guy's knocked you out 2 times with big gloves on. I mean, third time, little gloves on, it might be more of the same. But Izzy doesn't do a good job of styling and profiling when he's out there. So, you know, and even in those fights, he was ahead on points until he did get caught. But, I mean, somebody's got you twice. It's hard for me to believe that third time they're not going to catch you, especially when they're finishing you each time. So timing beats speed, and, you know, precision beats power. This guy just seems to have a good timing and good precision. So timing and precision, put them together. It's a bad night for Izzy again.
Now, meanwhile, another interested party is none other than Khamzat Chimaev. Currently, the 170-pound title seems to be tied up between Leon Edwards and Kamaru Usman, and it's not sure if Chimaev can even make 170 anymore. So he set his eyes on the 185-pound goal. Quote, "If they want to do Usman-Edwards 3, for me, no problem. I'm going to take some other fight, and we'll see what's happening. Maybe Israel Adesanya or the other guy, Alex Pereira. Who wins that? Maybe fight with them. I don't know. We'll wait for Dana White after my fight. He said after my last fight, maybe we'll fight for the title, but it didn't happen." Another fighter who seems to be behind Pereira in this one is the former pound-for-pound best, Jon Jones. Jones and Izzy have had a heated rivalry for quite some time, and Jon can't help but be amused at Izzy's call-out of Pereira. "Bro, I can't stop thinking about this shit. How are you going to threaten a guy like Alex with glossy fingernails and a Frozen reference? I'm over here scratching my head." Jones even posted the following under a Pereira workout video. "Be careful not to show Izzy too much, champ. I honestly don't think it will matter though. It's yours." Well, up next we have the American gangster himself, Chael Sonnen, and he shared some thoughts recently as to how Izzy can win this upcoming match. Just take a listen to what Chael had to say.
And I think that the highest level of athlete that our sport has today to offer is Israel Adesanya. I don't see anybody that can move quite like him. I don't see anybody that can use their natural attributes, such as length. We'll always talk about who's got a reach advantage, but there's no reason to call it an advantage if the athlete doesn't know how to use it, and very few do. Adesanya does. There's a time to get oohs and ahs from the crowd. There's a time to go out there and be excited, and there's a time to hone in and focus and make sure you win. That's what Adesanya does. He's a very dynamic guy that understands basics win championships, and moreover, it's the basics that are going to defend a championship. I watch a guy with that kind of speed, and then shockingly, he's also got that kind of cardio. I mean, I could just keep heaping the praise on Israel Adesanya. That is a very special...
So it seems as if a large portion of the MMA community is backing the former 2-division kickboxing champ Alex Pereira in this one. But that might be the chip that Izzy needed to get him fired up and ready to defend his belt once more. That and the fact that Pereira has 2 wins over Izzy already. So if you enjoyed the video, then please give it a like and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Hit the little bell beside it so that you're notified the next time we upload a new video. And with that being said, you just watched the MMA World's reaction to Israel Adesanya and Alex Pereira. We'll see you next time.